So if you know me, then you know that I love Monte Morris, and you're probably not surprised to see him as the first guy for our Role Player All-Stars of 2019. If we can get an assist to turnover check on Morris, which has been one of my favorite things to look at all season. For the year, he has 236 assists, and he has 40 turnovers. The ratio to that is astronomical. Whatever it is, I'm not going to figure it out off the top of my head. He's been huge, as the Nuggets have needed extra players with all the injuries they've had. He reads defenses at an expert level, and I'm kind of convinced that if the guy was 4 inches taller, he would be the best player in the NBA. That's only a slight exaggeration. But he's also been scoring, and I know a lot of this is what I said when I made a video with him in it a long time ago now, a few months back, but he's been so consistent as well, to the point where it's even kind of boring, where you just look up and it's, oh yeah, Monte had 11 points and 5 assists, and he didn't commit any turnovers, and he was efficient from the field, and he was plus a million in the minutes for Denver. He's the epitome of a great role player. Some other point guard candidates could be Fred VanVleet. There's also Patrick Beverley, Laker killer. I hope my Celtics end up getting him next year. DJ Augustin continues to be really good for the Magic as well. Now for the shooting guard spot, I really wanted to go with Joe Harris. I tried really hard to rationalize putting him in there, but for as great as he's been, I think there has been another that has been better, and that is Marcus Smart for the Celtics. He is a 2-guard, in case you didn't realize that one at this point. I think Marcus has made a real case for all defense first team, especially because Robertson hasn't played and Lonzo has missed time. He's listed at 6'4", but with how physical he is, he might as well be like 6'8", with the way he overwhelms ball handlers. His threes are going in this year. He's shooting 37% from outside. I know, Marcus Smart, who would have guessed? We'll have to see if he can keep it up. His playmaking is also going in the right direction as well. His turnovers are down, his usage rate is a little down, which may be a good thing. And because of all this, he's having the best season of his career, and it's right after the Celtics gave him a new contract, so that's pretty good timing. If there are any bright spots with this Celtics season, it could be that Marcus Smart has been awesome. So there's your 2-guard. Now small forward was tough because my initial thought was Robert Covington. Makes all the sense as to why. He kind of transformed the Wolves defensively. Unfortunately, he's missed a lot of time, so I don't know if I can put him in there. I'm going to go with Danny Green. I'm cheating a little bit because he's technically listed as shooting guard. With how versatile the Raptors defense is, I don't even know if you can really categorize which position a lot of their guys play. According to Basketball Reference, he's spent about 1/3 of his time at small forward. And he really is the quintessential 3-and-D player. He's over 40% from 3 this year. He's going to be in the all-defense team as well. I don't know if it'll be first team, but he's still been great. Whether it's defending ball handlers or, of course, the way that he's a god in transition, spacing the floor at all times. He's not concerned at all with how many shots he actually attempts. Danny Green is great. He was a hell of a throw-in in that deal, and I really don't understand why Popovich was so content with Danny Green just not being on his roster, but the Spurs lost him and the Raptors love having him. Now if we can move on to power forward, first off, Pascal Siakam is not a role player. If you consider him to be a role player, then that is an insult to how good he's been this year. Thad Young has a strong case, continues to do a little bit of everything for the Indiana Pacers. We have Nemanja Bjelica, whose spacing was huge for the Kings, but he's cooled down as the season's gone along. PJ Tucker always has a case for this, but I wanted to get a new guy in here. We're going to go with Jeremy Grant of the OKC Thunder. So, if I tried to describe to you the ideal glue guy, then what if I told you could have a guy who's 6'9 to 6'11 or however tall Jeremy Grant is, with abnormally large arms, a great athlete, and he doesn't care if he only shoots 4 times a game. He's going to play 100% on defense. He's going to attack the boards. You can have him defend guards or forwards. You'd want to have that guy on your team, right? Well, OKC is loving the fact that Jeremy Grant just fits in so well. I mean, I know we look at Steven Adams and Paul George for the toughness of this team. Jeremy Grant plays a huge role in OKC's identity. Now, there are still questions about if he can maintain the jump shot going into the postseason. I get it. But he's always going to make an impact, whether it's blocking a shot or having 4 steals or grabbing 5 offensive rebounds or whatever it is. He's going to make his presence known. And now finally, the center position, I think it has to be Brook Lopez. The only other guy I could think of is Sabonis, and his impact has been big for Indiana, no doubt, but he does mainly play against bench players, and I don't think his effect on that team compares to Brooks on this one, because if you've seen the Bucks when they've really been rolling this season, they look unguardable, where Giannis gets all the lanes to the basket he wants to, and the defense is constantly scrambling and trying to close out to the three-point line. A lot of it's because everybody on this damn team can shoot, and if it wasn't for Brook Lopez, then it would be a bit easier to deal with that because, I mean, we just see the impact. You know, a great shooting 2-guard can still cause problems for a defense. A great shooting center can be a nightmare, especially when it's paired up with the guy who's maybe been the best player in the NBA this season. So, where Milwaukee is in the standings and all that, I think Brook Lopez is kind of the obvious choice for the center for this video.